must we pray?
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome. This is going to be an awesome session, totally different than anything I've done on a topical webinar. First of all, let me start off by saying, Pete, are you out there?
Yeah, I sure am there, Blair. I'm having some internet issues here, so I apologize if I fade in or out.
Okay, no worries, no worries. I'm going to lead us through this morning, but just so you guys know, we've got myself on here, Blair Nightingale. For those of you who don't know me, we got Mr. Pete Bright as well. If you're in the program, you've probably met both of us at some point or another. Today, we get to go through charts, and this is going to be something we've done some webinars to show you guys. Some of you guys, of course, on here. We got 100 people. Lots of people are going to be watching by recording. Many of you are in the program already. Many of you are not. So we're coming at this from different angles. You've heard us present these, announce these, even do some trainings. Today, really, we're just going to look at what are some, not all, right? These, the more I dig into these charts, the more I realize that this could do. And we're also going to talk about how does that impact your trading. But we're not going to look at everything, but we're going to look at a lot of the things that both Pete and I really like about charts. And then more explicitly, how does that help me trade? Right? We don't want to just talk features. How does that help me trade? And I want to be very clear as we start, okay? This is about making trading easier to do and quicker to do, right? That's what good tools help us do. And this, for a trader, is the tool of tools, right? Charts by TRADEway, which is what you're looking at right now, has so many different tools. I don't expect that anybody is going to use them all, right? That's not the purpose of having a multitude of options here. So we're not going to need all of them, let alone look at all of them, but we are going to go after that specific goal. How does this make this easier for me, whether you are brand new, maybe especially if you're brand new, but even if you're not, right? Because these tools I'm going to show you today are practical, applicable, and they help streamline our trading. I'm going to present some things today with Pete that you maybe hadn't thought of before. And I'm hoping that when we look at what we like to call around TRADEway homework, right? I was thinking about a scripture yesterday, Pete. It says that those who act in haste come surely to poverty, right? This is in the Proverbs. Those who act in haste come surely to poverty. And this has convicted me in trading more than one time, because planning in trading, as Pete knows, and I know he says this a lot as well, planning is absolutely crucial to good trading decisions and habits, right? Once you've consistently planned and made that a habit, it's interesting that in that sense, you may need to do less planning, or you might find that you're much quicker at planning your trades. But trade the plan the trade, plan the trade, trade the plan. That's what we always say, right? So I want this to be a time where not only am I going to say we can use this to make trading easier and faster, but more explicitly, more specifically, making our planning better and making our planning faster, right? We want to do more, but if we can do it with less work, that's a good thing. And that's what we're going to look at here on charts. Now, Pete, I know you're in the back here helping out in the chat. From time to time, though, I'm going to just pop in there for a second and make sure I'm connected to what we're talking about out there. I see that we had a question in Q&A. Pete, if you just want to interrupt me at any point, if we've got something in Q&A that you want to pass on, or maybe you want to just go ahead and answer, then don't be afraid to cut me off here, because I'm going to dive into some things. Pete's got some things here as well. Again, we want to show you what are our favorite features. And that's important because, like I said, there are a lot of different features here. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to pause for a second. Pete, did you have anything you wanted to throw in here, comment on for the folks out there if you're with me before we go ahead and dive into some of these?
Well, yeah, I just want to say again, thanks for everyone for joining us for this hour. This is a pretty darn exciting. I know David Mitchell and Katie and everyone on the TRADEway staff has been looking forward to having their charting software for a long time. I talked to David, I think in 2013, and it was even way back then. Actually, I think it was even the later part of 2012, and he talked to me about wanting to develop their own charting software. And interestingly enough, I had a friend who was working on a charting brokerage platform in a software house in Colorado Springs. And he was the security guy for that particular effort. And he said this is one of the hardest things that that he's ever worked on, one of the hardest, most difficult challenges that a programming person could face. There's just so many intricacies, and the speed at which the market runs, at which the market works, is so fantastic. And the coordination that's involved is unbelievable. So this is a monumental effort, and we are so pleased to present this to you. And as Blair said, the whole purpose of this is to help you guys, help everyone improve their training. And this is such a great integrated tool that we certainly are going to enjoy learning it with you, evolving it with you, and trading through it with this platform. So that's my 2 cents to get going there, Blair. Thanks much.
All righty, just answering a quick question in the background here. In fact, I'm going to leave that to you, Pete, there in the Q&A. Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
You know, like our friend Myron likes to say all the time, we want to go further, faster with less work. Trading as a whole gives us the opportunity to do that, but how do we use the tool as best as possible within that, right? Further, faster, with less work. Well, Charts by TRADEway is going to show you how to do that. And we are going to look at those today. Okay. We're going to look at those today. So let me just start. I've got a list here. I've got some features. I'm going to go through about 6 that I really like. Okay. And we're going to move through them. And again, Pete, you can jump in anytime you want. So further, faster with less work. How so? Well, let's just start, homepage. That seems like a good place to start. So I'm going to go back to here. Now, one of the first things I like, okay, we got 3 legs to the trading table. Some of you guys have not taken our step 1 course. Most of you probably have. If you haven't, I got to say, listen, you're interested in trading, you got to get into at least the step 1 course to learn the foundation of our stock trading system. But that said, we've got 3 legs to the trading table. When you have a 3-legged table, what happens when you take a leg out? The table is going to fall over, obviously, right? And everything on it. So when we want to have a stable approach to the market, we have to have 3 legs to the trading table: fundamentals, technicals, and market tone. Without going into each of them in detail right now, the cool thing is we actually don't need to. The fundamentals are available to us because we have Charts by TRADEway right in front of us. What's the first thing I want to talk about? Well, let me ask you a practical question in trading. The market was down considerably yesterday. Now it reversed, and I'm going to talk about that before we're done here today. But what's happening now? It moved up. Let me zoom in here. Moved up yesterday. Nice strong move, reversal, right? But today, indecision. It gaps back down. It's moving down. So the market is down. Market tone is negative. Wouldn't it be cool if there was just a quick way for us to know hey, is there any area of the market that's actually doing pretty good today? And could I potentially look for some opportunities there, right? Or at least have an understanding of what's happening in the market as a whole right away? Pretty easy. Boom. Heat map right here, right? The sector map that's right in the front. You can see the key here. This tells me this is the lowest, right? This brown, it's like burnt orange for you Texas people. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close, right? This was a lot more negative even this morning, but look how easy it is to go, oop, oil and gas, right? It's easy. Now, today is more extreme conditions. I'm not suggesting that we go out and just buy up oil and gas right now, but at any point, you and I can start our search looking for a specific stock. Remember, we're looking for patterns, but I could go, well, what's doing well? I had somebody ask me yesterday, Pete, you guys had an old insider site. It was one of our memberships pages. And it used to have the top performing sectors and the lowest performing sectors. And I know that was a feature that students loved because they could go in there from time to time and go, what sectors, what industries, and thus what companies and stocks are doing really well right now. And by the way, which ones are not doing very well, right? I'd sure love to see that. How many people out there think that would be helpful information first thing in the morning, or perhaps you don't have a lot of time at night, right? I see hands being raised, right? You don't have a lot of time maybe, and you're going, I sure would like to at least start fishing in the right part of the pond. That could make things a whole lot faster, right? So why not use the sector map? Boom, right there. And look what I can do. Okay, I'm going to talk about up here. Some of you guys are thinking about that too. Let me get to that in a minute. I can click on oil and gas. Look what happens. Boom. Now I know what in oil and gas. This is specifically in the S&P 500, by the way, right? 500 stocks, right? Across 11 sectors of our economy. You don't have to remember all that because it's right here. You just have to follow the pictures, right? It's not that we all need it that simple, but it sure is nice. So I can go, well, what's doing well here? And here, of course, I can see this is as these blocks are bigger, right? I'm looking at bigger market cap, right? Because you can see this is 2.5% move. This is 2.14. It's a smaller move, but it's a bigger stock. Okay. ExxonMobil right here. And then, of course, Chevron. It gives you the name of the ticker. I can click on that, and then it's going to pull up more details about the stock. We're not going to go into all of this today, but of course, I can jump from there over to the chart. I could buy and sell right off here. You and I learn a skill set that says we need 3 legs of the trading table. So we're not ready to just go ahead and jump in and buy it just because this is green, but we're getting a pretty fast insight. How long did that take? Look, I can go back to the tabs here and it just takes me back to the top, right? I go, oh gosh, that's sticking out. Interesting. Let me click on that. And so I click on it. And then from there I go, okay, what's the most green on here? Right? I could go and I can start looking at these charts and take the next step, right? Especially if we do have positive market tone. Now, I would say to Pete, well, couldn't we go the other way? Couldn't we look at things that are really weak if we were potentially looking at options? Maybe we wanted to find a really weak stock. By the way, the black ones, that's not the weakest, right? That's in the middle, right? It's this light brown, almost burnt orange, like I was saying, right? Technology's getting killed. So I might be able to go in here and look the other way, right? I don't have to necessarily just look for green. Obviously, for our stock traders out there, we're looking for things that are going up. Of course, up here, same thing, right? S&P 500, here's the major sectors. It's not hard to see. We've got an outlier today, right? Energy. Again, the highlight here, actually, it's pretty cool because the contrast is pretty strong. We can find, and this is the main point, right? Let's go back to our main, it's almost like our thesis, isn't it? our main point at the beginning here is, how do I help you make this faster? How do I make this easier so you can get more done in shorter amounts of time, which is pretty cool because that's what trading is aiming to do anyway. But I can find what's doing well and what's doing not. Now, I need to go in and do some more homework beyond this, but what an easy starting point to be looking at this, right? If I didn't know anything about where to start and look for trades, I could start right here and go, yeah, tech for me as a stock trader, maybe not the best idea right now. You know, Pete and I could talk about tech stocks. We could talk about patterns. We could talk about the NASDAQ. And you say, well, what if I didn't understand any of that yet? Well, you could certainly come in here and go, if I knew how to use this, I could say, nah, that's a pass for me today, right? Not looking super good. Now, if you had options training, you might be looking for weakness. Okay. So that would increase the potential for what you're able to do, because now we can make some money in the market when it's going up and it's going down. And of course, some of you know what it means to be able to make some money when it's going sideways. And if everybody else out there is going, I can make money when it's going sideways, you could. That's the flexibility of options. But this heat map gives us a really easy way to start out and go, this is where I want to focus. And perhaps all these other areas, nah, not going to focus on that. Not going to focus on that. Pete?
Howdy. Great intro there, Blair. Perhaps if you don't mind, Blair, I can walk folks through how I open up charts and go from there.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to steal your screen here.
Okay.
If that's okay. And so, all right, folks, you should be seeing my opening page here for account.tradeway.com/dashboard. Now, many of you who've been with us for a while, you probably remember when you logged on to TRADEway before, it was insiders .tradeway or tradeway.com insiders. Things are changing quite significantly at TRADEway. Lots and lots of changes behind the scenes. And that's why we're asking you to pardon our dust, because these changes are, they're, like I say, they're pretty extensive. And with any software system, you're not sure where those bugs are until you actually turn it on and you start using it. And then sometimes those bugs are just really difficult to find, and then maybe even more difficult to actually resolve. So our tech team is working hard to get us back to normal as soon as possible. But as you get to this, when you first put this internet address in your browser, if you're having trouble getting to charts or getting back in, sign out. Okay, go ahead and sign out, and then click on the option to reset your password. Okay, I had the hardest time getting back in, and then my buddy Ben Russell said, well, did you reset your password yet? And I had forgotten to do that. So I did that, and then I got access. So be sure to click on the forgot my password type option, and you can reset it to the same password that you had before, and that should help. The other thing that you want to be sure of is that you are using the email address, the primary email address that you have on file with TRADEway. Many of us have several email addresses associated with TRADEway. I think I got about 4 or 5 between the family. Be sure that you are trying to log in on the primary email address. And then again, reset your password, and you should be able to get back to this page. Okay. And then from here, you just click on Charts by TRADEway, and that's how you access our new charting, trading, and training platform. So here we go. And I'll just point out some things as we get going here. Can I give you a quick tour? Okay. So if you're new, you can just say, show me, and you'll go on a quick tour. Or if you just want to jump to one of the major tabs, there you go. Okay. Well, not right now. Now here's one of the great features with the team behind this here. They have office hours, basically time for Q&A and for demos every Wednesday and Friday. On Wednesdays, it's the hour after market close. And then on Friday, it's the lunch hour, again, Eastern time. And so weekly online opportunity to ask questions about the platform, get some live demo, whatever the feature is, or whatever your question is, okay? So not too many packages, software or trading platforms offer this kind of customer support. So, but by all means, take advantage of that opportunity. Well, I'm going to close that. And it says you can launch the tour anytime from the user menu. Okay, got it. That's great. So here's the home page, if you will. I got the S&P 500 here, and I can quickly look down here to the exchanges to see how many stocks are advancing versus how many are declining. That used to take a little bit of work, but now I can just quickly see here how things have been going over the last several weeks. Okay, actually 1 month here, but I could change that to 3 months, okay, or up to a year, okay? But 1 month span is good here. And if I could look at the NASDAQ here, similar picture, a lot of decliners, not too many advantages, and even the American Stock Exchange. We don't talk about that one all that much. That's because there's a relatively small number of stocks trading just on that exchange. There's overlap between these, especially between the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, okay? And then I can see here how many stocks are hitting 52-week highs versus 52-week lows. That's kind of important. You'll see that a lot of stocks are hitting their 52-week lows yesterday, almost 800. Okay, that's significant. Not so much today. And then here in this middle section, you can put whatever watch list you want. Well, we like to trade the A+ watch list. All right, and there's various ways to sort this. I think let's see here. So I know David Mitchell, he likes to sort by price. Okay, so the highest price on top and goes down. Ben Russell likes to sort by symbol here alphabetically. I like to actually sort by volume. Okay, so this is today's volume, and the reason I like to do that is these lower volume stocks. The lower volume stocks generally don't have really good options, so I'm not gonna pay too much attention to those, just because I might spend a lot of time looking at the technicals and say, this is a great stock, just to go find out that they really don't have any good options. So I like to sort by volume here. Or you can sort by percent change for today. You can see here some are positive today. But what's really neat about this whole system, you can sort by the score, okay? And so what do you mean by the score? Okay, well, it's a kind of a composite between the technicals here, which is this wavy chart, okay? The inner circle, and these are folks within the company. Are they buying or selling the stock? Okay, if they're buying, that's usually a good sign. And then the valuation basically is the stock on sale. Is it pretty expensive? Okay. And then finally here, the last one here, the fundamentals. And so you can sort on this score and quickly see what stocks might be good for up trades or which might be good for down trades based on the score. So, red is negative, green positive, and yellow is more neutral here. So you can quickly get a fantastic overview of the A+ watch list on what stocks might be favorable for the specific strategy that you're thinking of. All right. So we'll go back over to here, and then here's a quick overview of the S&P 500 today. Veronica had a question. She goes, well, why is energy way over here? Well, energy, this is positive, okay? So it's actually up today about 1.7%, okay? All the other sectors are negative for today, especially tech down 3% so far today. So gives you a really quick overview of what the sector performance is, from a scale perspective. And you can kind of get that same feel here with this heat map. I really like this heat map, just as Blair does. So I can go over here and enlarge that heat map and get see what's going on here. I can go over here to see what's happening, not just sector-wise, but industry-wise, but just by clicking here. And indeed, oil and gas is up nicely today, and as well as the drug manufacturers. Most everything else is down, especially the semiconductors here. But I can go over here to the stocks again, and all of technology is real down, but here's this green spot, IBM. What's going on with that? Well, I can just click on IBM and get a snapshot here. Okay, so it's up today. Now it's still, from a score perspective, not that great, but I can go ahead and click on the chart, say, and I come to this page here and I see, gosh, it's really up today. What's going on with that? And I can click on here, the dashboard. Okay. And here's an overview of what's going on with the stock from a technical perspective, the inner circles, the valuation fundamentals, but also the news here. Okay. The news section. And from an overview, I like this here because I can quickly tell, is this an American company or a foreign company? I like to trade stocks a lot, but I do not like to trade foreign stocks, especially Chinese stocks. So if their location is somewhere other than the United States, all right, I'll just quick looking at that stock. Before, I'd have to go to several different websites and take a lot of time to figure out, is this an American stock or not? Well, here it's right here. So that's a really nice feature for me. I also get the website, and then I can click over to the news section here, and I can see what's going on with the news. And I see that like this article here, I can click on that, and that'll actually take me to the article itself. And this is actually from Investors Business Dailies. I don't have a subscription to that, but at least I'll get a little bit. And it does tell me, it mentions IBM. But other from other sources, well, here it's boosted by sales growth here. So we know that IBM had earnings, and the investors, that they reacted very positively to their earnings announcement here. So so you can quickly do some research and get your questions answered on why things are moving the way they are. All right, we can go back to the home screen here, and one more tidbit here before I turn things back over to Blair here. This help center is really fantastic here. I can just click on that and I can get some quick guides, the various, well, the help center, I'll just put that in a new tab here. And it brings me to lots of different means for help. I can watch a video, I can read things, I can get a quick guide. So there's various things I can do. One of the neat things here is I can open up a support ticket, okay? So a new ticket here, which is a fantastic opportunity here, okay? You just put your email address in here and who you are, and here's where you can describe your issue or problem, or you can put in a feature request. How about that? How many platforms have you guys worked on where you have a means to request a feature? Okay, I haven't seen one, So not only do you have access to all of us here at TRADEway, well, you have access to our side of the team, Rance and Lori and Steve, those folks who are directly developing and evolving charts by TRADEway, so you can actually go right to them with a feature request, or if you're having a particular issue or whatever. So I think the support system for charts is absolutely fantastic in my humble opinion there. So that's a few of the features that I'm finding that I really like about this new system here. And the more I learn it, the more I find how helpful it can really be with improving my trading from start to finish. So there you go, Blair. That's my 2 cents for right now.
Excellent. Love it. All right, let me grab this. Boom. We're going to keep moving here. A couple of things I'm going to address. Thank you for that, Pete. It's nice to hear from different people because we can even talk about the same tool, but we might have a couple of little different things for you guys to highlight as well. We might actually just use it differently. So that's important for everybody to be able to see. I've got a couple of questions I'm going to knock out here quick. What is a feature request? Pete was just going through in the help center here where you could send in a support ticket. You could go through where he was looking in, or you could go straight to that guy right there. And you might have a feature that you're saying, hey, this would be really helpful for my trading. And you could actually request that. Certainly the coaches here at TRADEway have done a lot of that too. And we are working still. This software we're showing you today, we're adding things. In fact, there are features I can't talk about today that are already being added because of the way that we trade here at TRADEway. So not only is this technology useful for you today, but it's going to continue to evolve to fit TRADEway specifically. And that's the beauty of having our own software for this. Okay. I'll let Pete answer some of these in the back, but I want to hit on another one. Let's see. I believe it was stated that you could acquire these charts as a standalone, right? You could sign up for charts. We're actually going to show you that. We're going to talk about that in the background as we go along, and then I'll talk about it a little bit here in a minute. But let's keep going through some features for right now. Okay, so I am definitely going to move into a couple of different pieces here. Let's go ahead and look at the actual chart. Now, a lot of you have seen the chart, but I want to highlight a couple of things here that are pretty, they're just foundational. They're essential, okay? Let me go ahead and just do something like this. Zoom it in. If you didn't know, you can use these buttons right here to kind of squish the scale of the screen. I like some space on the right. I like some space on the top. I like some space on the bottom. That's just me. But it actually bugs me when that's not there. So I always do that. That's not actually one of the features I wanted to show you, but that's just something you can do if you didn't know you could do that. By the way, you can click here and you can extend that right side by however much space you want. I just extend it by 30 days so that I have a little space. I don't like it being smashed up against the edge there. So a couple of things. I'm going to go through this part fairly quick because obviously a lot of you have or will see this immediately in any of the training that we do on Charts by TRADEway. And I want to be able to look at a couple other things. But that said, we've got to know one of the major legs of the trading table is technicals. And you can see how I've got technicals at work here, right? You have lines that you can draw and you have moving averages. Here's something I talked about on Market Monday last night. Simply coming in here, any of the moving averages, right? We can add these. They're in a template. When you guys sign up with us, there's already a template for you that has them, okay? And you can select that over here. I'm on this one right here. We're certainly seeing the market fall. So some of these deeper moving averages, here's the 100-day, which was really what helped us draw support. Having moving averages, learning how to use moving averages is huge because it is not a subjective interpretation of a trend. How can I say that more simple? Trends make higher highs and higher lows, right? Uptrends do, okay? But there's still some subjectiveness in the way that we might draw our support and resistance, the slant. You guys know this even from when you first started trading, right? If you start trading with us, you're going to practice drawing lines. What's one way to know how to draw even better lines? Use the moving averages. Moving averages aren't based on interpretation. Moving averages are based on math, right? But you and I don't have to know that math. We don't have to figure any of that out. You don't need economics degree. You don't need to know the formula. It's just a picture on the screen. And look what I did. I drew the support line back here on the 100-day, and it used the 100-day again and again. And then it broke the 100-day, and I knew that's a big deal. What do I want to show you right now? Well, let's look at something super simple. I can go into here. Yesterday, it breaks the 200-day moving average. I'm going to put that back on here. Okay, it's hidden right now, which is this little guy right here. Boom, it broke it, closed below it. So what did I do? I posted this in Insider Plus. Well, that's not helping us find support anymore. I put the 300-day on and said yesterday morning, we ought to watch the 300-day moving average. Now, this isn't about the 300-day specifically, which isn't an average we use typically or talk about very often because we don't really need to. What I want to show you is it's so easy to adjust things on charts. And yesterday there was, now the market is crazy right now for sure, but it was an enormous reversal right off that line, enormous reversal right off that line. And that meant opportunity, right? That meant opportunity for me. So I definitely want you to know that you can use this chart in a few different ways. It's very simple. I always say what we learn with support and resistance, it is foundation. It's not beginner, it's foundation. Drawing lines. How can you do that? Well, I'm going to just put a few on here. Line is going to be, oops, I'm sorry. You got to click. My bad. I go to a line, I click, and I drag. Boom. Now I'm going to delete that. Simple as that. Delete, right? I can choose a ray. Oh, I did it again, you guys. I'm so sorry. I can choose a ray, click, and it's going to extend infinitely to the side, which I actually like that. I like that. That's the difference there. I'm going to delete that as well. Okay. How can I get support and resistance? Get on here and draw it. And I was saying, this is not beginner stuff. This is foundational. It doesn't matter what strategy we use, what webinar I'm on, the live trading hour. We've got people in our Trader Pro memberships, and they are learning to trade the market up, down, and sideways. And every time somebody asks me about a specific stock, ticker, a company, I'm going, what's the pattern? Where's support and resistance? What's the pattern? Where's support and resistance? What's the pattern? Where's support and resistance? I never graduate from that. And we do that right here. We do that right here. So I'm going to move past this quickly. I'm highlighting it. I'm emphasizing it, but simple tools here that are the absolute foundation of what we do. And learning to do lines and moving averages is such a huge part of that. If we look at, let's see, I think it was even this guy. No, it wasn't this guy. A couple of these out here in rolling patterns, coming in, drawing lines, right? Drawing lines. Put those ooch lines in there. Boom. Horizontal line. Boom. Okay. Right? For a lot of us on here, nothing new. For a lot of us, something new. Hits the bottom, moves to the top. Hits the bottom, moves to the top. Right? And so on and so forth. So I'm not going to do anything else unless you want to add something in here specifically with charts right now. But I couldn't go through this whole thing and not look at charts, okay? Because obviously that's huge, and we're going to spend a lot of time right here. Now you can see I've got a lot of tickers down on the side. So let's go to another feature, right? Specifically, watch lists. Okay. When you join with us, you're not only getting this software, you're getting watch lists. Now here's just a big old list of ETFs. Okay. That's not necessarily what I mean, although of course that's in there and I like ETFs. You've got specifics that are you've got specific watch lists that are in here based on your personal activity. Okay. You've got some in here that are based on automatic scans that the software will just do for you. Again, looking at what is helping streamline. But then you've also got ones that we've added, right? For stock traders, where we've got $30 or less options. We've got the A+. We're looking at indices for some of the other advanced strategies. Okay, we're adding, changing watch lists for you guys to be able to just pull it up, and then boom, you can just go to the stock, right? Over to the chart. This is the SPY, of course, which is just something that mirrors the S&P 500. So we've got watch lists, moving averages, lines, okay? Basic chart functions here, but foundational to be sure, okay? That is a huge part of it. Let's go a little bit deeper though, okay? Because I said we can use what? Heat map? What about scans? Some of you guys haven't seen this yet. Scans. Now, these aren't just, you could get a charting software out there that you can just set the parameters of a scan. I would like to find a stock that costs less than $50 a share and it trades more than 1 million shares and it's optionable. Like if you have the ability, if you have the knowledge to know what to search for, you can put that in there and you can get a basic scan. Well, we've taken this to a whole nother level and we've done all the groundwork for you. Again, further, faster, less work. What if you learn a strategy from TRADEway, right? And you'd rather just come in here and use a scan, right? Online study groups. You're in Trader Max, right? You're doing options. You're doing advanced options, okay? You might be in some precious metals, right? We've got covered calls, the stock flippers. Now, a lot of us maybe don't know what these strategies are yet. Some of you have access to them. Some of you don't yet. But these are all strategies that we teach. Now, these particulars here, these are all options. And we'll talk about how you can get access to some of these things. But you could literally go in, here's the descriptions of what we're talking about, and you go click on it, and boom, it's already found stocks that fit the criteria for our specific strategies, right? Now, does that mean I would go in here, I'd click on this, and go, yep, I guess I'm going to buy me some Goldman Sachs today? Well, of course not. Of course not. I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to go to the chart and go, all right, do I see what I need to see for this? Is it doing what I need? Right? Because of course I've actually learned the strategy, but how much faster is that? And any strategy that we teach, we could go into find, and that's exactly what it is. Oh, let me find a trade today. Scans, and I can go. Now they have some more generals here, right? This is part of what they've put in here, where we could look for specific patterns based on this. It's in here that it's relative to the programs that you were in. And you'll have access in charts according to the different programs that you're a part of. So how cool is that? How many people think that that might help you do a little bit more, a whole lot faster, maybe a lot more, a lot faster? And again, I can move through some of these based on the strategy specifically. Okay. And you know, some of these strategies, even though these ones aren't necessarily as specific to the strategies that we teach cover calls, right? Cover calls. So you could come in and you could actually look up some charts. Who out there thinks it would be kind of cool to own a stock and make money on the stock selling some calls, where the stock actually might be falling and you're actually making some money while the stock is falling? You say, I can make money while the stock is falling? You certainly could. You certainly could with covered calls, right? I was telling everybody last night on Market Monday, you know, that old saying, what we don't know won't hurt us, is actually just not true. What we don't know can seriously hold us back, right? If we're holding on to shares of a stock for long term, right? Let's go to, let's see, I think it's this guy right here. Boom, just moving down. What if I'm holding on to stock something for the long term and I'd like to make some money as it's moving down because I don't plan on selling it? Well, I could sell some covered calls. If I wanted to sell some covered calls, would it be helpful to come in here and just go scan and look at covered calls, right? Maybe I'm looking to do, Pete does a lot with this area of our program. He helps folks know how we like to use covered calls. Now, I'm not going to go deeper into that strategy necessarily right now, but I am saying that this is going to help us streamline the process. So because I'm talking a lot about options, let me show you another thing that I really like. Okay, here we are on a chart. Let's maybe go to, I don't know, it doesn't really matter to me right now. Here's a stock that's just been getting killed. Actually, I think Disney has been too. Options, boom. Okay, let me go out of here. I'm going to just do something real quick here. I got to move my Zoom menu bar here. Interesting. Hold on a second there, guys. I'm going to go back into my charts. Bingo. Let's go back to the chart. Let's go to options. And there we have it. Okay, so here's a couple of really cool things. Whether you're trading options or not right now, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I want to show you something real quick. Okay, what if, and the majority of our program is focused on options. And guess what? It's really cool for those of you that don't know. When you learn to stock trade with TRADEway, you're actually learning to trade options. Because what we do is we buy and sell the option in the same places that we would buy and sell the stock. So even today, if you're only a stock trader and you don't know exactly what options is, first of all, this helps us trade the markets up, down, and sideways. It's super awesome. But it's not like we have to make this massive jump to options because we're actually going to buy and sell in the same spots that we do the stock. So we all have at least some understanding of how that can work. But when we get into options, we actually are more concerned about whether or not they're good options. Well, for those of you out there who haven't seen this, we've got these 3 little meters here, just a nice, quick visual, all right? Liquidity, right? How liquid is that, right? Am I going to get a good deal on that option contract? Well, this is an immediate metric, right? And it's like a gas gauge, isn't it? Right? How easy is it going to be to get in and out of that option contract? How much of an indication can I have right away that this is going to be a worthwhile option? Right? I've done my homework. We looked at energy earlier, didn't we? We look in, let's say we look at that sector map. We find, ooh, I like Exxon Mobil right now, but let me go ahead and look at the chart. So we go and we look at the chart and we draw support and resistance and we go, ooh, this actually looks pretty good. I like this. Maybe I'm going to look at this, right? This is just an example. And then I come in here and go, ooh, options. Let's say this meter was way down here. And I go, that's going to be not so good. Not so good. Or, oh, this is up in the green. I like this. I like this. Liquidity is really important, right? For those of you that understand what IV is, this gives me an idea of, is this option more expensive or less expensive than it normally is? Well, it's basically right in the middle right now. Not too bad, right? A little higher than normal, but not much. Okay. So I'm not overpaying for this option. How many out there would, whether this is where you're at in your trading journey or not, would you rather overpay for something? Would you rather overpay for something or underpay for something? Wouldn't it be really cool if the software could just tell you, am I overpaying for this right now? If you walked into a store and you were going to buy something, you know what's cool today is we can just jump on our phones, can't we? And we can go online and we can search. And I do this all the time. I'll be honest. I like a deal. I bet you guys like a deal too. I don't know why you wouldn't. Then you can go online and you can go, is this actually a decent price? Am I going to overpay for this thing? And if I'm going to overpay, I don't buy it. Well, what does this do? This tells me whether or not I'm going to overpay. Am I getting a good deal on this or not? Right? See, what you know can help you. And we are going to help you know very easily. And this is one of the ways we do that. Now, this goes into a couple other things, skew as well. Are more people out there buying puts, meaning when it goes down, it makes money? Or are more people out there buying calls? I'd like to know who is, what's the favor right now? Puts or calls, so I can get an indication on that. And is the activity, is the volume of that option increasing or decreasing? Is it going up or is it going down, right? Are people more interested in it or less interested in it? If you're looking to buy a stock, what would you like to know? You'd like to know that other people are interested in buying that stock as well, right? That's what we want to do. We want to catch the wave with the big boys when we're getting in and out of the stock. Well, in this case, I'm looking at options and going, here's a real easy way to see, is this increasing or is this decreasing? Is it getting bigger or not? And for our options traders out there, you've also got the standard deviation right here, easy, right in front of you, IV. It's super cool. That's just the top level preview. But wow, what a bunch of cool things for options traders right there in a simple visual. Okay. Now I'm going to pause for 2 seconds. I know Pete's taking care of everything in the background, but I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Is there any questions, Pete, that you want to toss my way? And I can answer live, or we can just keep on keeping on. I know we're getting 5 minutes to the hour here. I'm gonna circle the airport here one time, and then we're gonna land the plane. But I want to touch on 2 more things before we go in charts, so that you guys know how to do it, because I think it's really helpful. But quick question, if we got one.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything right now that we
Okay.
can that we ought to talk live on. I'll look through again just to see if I missed something.
Okay, great. If you want to as well, if you haven't yet, Pete, like I said, I haven't been paying attention there. If you want to drop that link, we've got a link. I know we've got some questions I have seen already. How do I get into charts? How do I access charts? I'm going to pull that up in a second here as well. For those of you that want to learn options, right? Further, faster with less work, right? Being able to trade some of these strategies that I'm showing you in the scans, right? We just saw the market, the NASDAQ yesterday was down 18%. 20% is a bear market. Tech stocks are almost in a bear market. So knowing how to do options right now gives you options. It gives you choices. It gives you the ability to trade these other market conditions. The market is changing, right? It is changing. We're looking at, I'm going to go to the chart. We're looking at the government changing, right? Changing their approach to the economy. Interest rates are not as low. Money's not as cheap. Things are changing. You're going to see that trickle down in our economy. They're trying to control inflation is what they're doing. But what you and I need to know is that's going to create volatility in the stock market, right? That's going to create change in the stock market. And we're going to see more drops like this than we have, right? There's going to be more volatility. I don't have a crystal ball, but this is what happens to bull markets. So when we are stock trading, this presents challenges, right? Two challenges in large part. One, great stocks tend to cost more money, so we have less leverage. Unless you have a lot of capital in your account to buy a lot of shares, you want to go out and even buy, let's go here and just pick a company like Apple. You want to buy 100 shares at Apple, right? At 157 bucks, right? What if you could do that at 10 to 15% of the price of the share, right? 10 to 15%. That's what options can do. What if the market's falling, right? You can stay in the game. That's what options can do. What if the market's just chopping sideways and not really doing anything? You could learn to trade sideways options with us and use our scans to help you get there. Okay. Now, I said I wanted to talk about a couple more things. What else could you do? Well, what if I could paper trade, right? We actually have a paper trading platform right here on Charts by TRADEway. Here's my account, right? This is the virtual account that I can go in right now and I could trade right off the chart, right? I could do any of the strategies, right? Any of the strategies that we talked about. I can just come in here and practice. And it's going to happen in real time. So I can actually get in right now and start learning or continue learning either starting trading or a new strategy, right? Something I haven't learned yet. It's on stocks right now. What if I go to options, right? And now I can do any of the strategies that I just showed you in those scans, and you can practice it without taking the kind of risk that you would normally and practice that, okay? So that gives us the ability to advance tremendously and gain that confidence that's necessary. Jeffrey always says this, we got to trade better before we trade bigger. So how can you start and learn how to trade better if you're not ready to trade bigger? Well, you come in here and paper trade using this platform, right? Using all these resources that are available to you. You have no reason, right? It removes so much of that pressure. So we have no reason to say, nah, I don't think I can do this. Nah, I don't think I can learn that. Nah, I don't think, right? It helps tremendously. And that's because we have a virtual account. Now, obviously you can connect your real broker in here, and then you can trade your actual account, your money through Charts by TRADEway. And it's as simple as clicking on these two buttons right here. I can buy or I can sell. Now, you don't have to do it from here, but you can. And that's a really cool feature as well. Now, that said, another thing I want to show you is it actually popped up right here. Auto journal this account, right? We can toggle that. It's on. It's actually going to journal. Okay. So if I go to portfolio over here, down in journal, boom. Now there are no trades. I just set up a new virtual account last night for people who are watching on Market Monday. So there's no trades in this virtual account here, but it's going to journal everything. And even there's a lot we could look at here, guys. So let me just take this. It's going to track how you're doing. Now, as a coach, Pete knows this. I know this. For some of you out there who've been trading longer and are more experienced, what's one of the most helpful things that you can have? Well, a coach. And when you talk to a coach, it's really helpful to have good data, right? What kinds of trades have I been doing? Sometimes we trade so much, we go, you know what, I actually forgot about a lot of my trades, or I don't really like going into a spreadsheet and punching in numbers. And then I don't really know how to take the data and make it useful for me, right? What's my win percentage? Okay, what stocks am I tending to trade? How do I organize this information easily? How do I share this in a visual? Here's a graph, right? Again, there's no data on this because I haven't done trades in this virtual account. It's brand new, right? But it's going to give us a snapshot, boom, right there, that actually, if you want, will automatically share with coaches. Now, you don't have to do that, but you can. I'm talking about further, faster with less work. So not only are we preparing trades faster, executing trades easier, but now we're reviewing and adjusting what we're doing that much easier. So this is holistic. This is not just one step. This is right through the whole process of your education, making it possible, right, for us to help you and you to help yourself that much more, because we want to what? We want to go further, faster, with less work, right? That's what we want to do. And that's what Charts by TRADEway helps you do. And of course, this is the thing that we love about this. I see a couple of people saying, where can we find this webinar? Once it uploads, we're going to send you an email and it'll have the information that you need for the replay. Okay. So no worries there. There's always a replay on these topicals. Of course, a lot of people couldn't join us this morning, and they are going to watch the replay as well. So we make sure that you guys get that. Okay. So a couple of things. I know Pete's already popped that in there. Here we are, Charts by TRADEway, right? So a couple things. Let's just click on this really fast. This is where I just came in. This link, Pete's going to pop that into the chat again. And here we go. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to get an option for a basic, right, or an elite plan. You can choose which plan works for you today. Okay. You're going to get a comprehensive list. This is everything that's in it. You say, okay, there's a few other things I want. I really want that journal. Okay. I'm going to need that journal. I want to use some of the premium scans, which I showed you today, right? That's going to be in the premium account. Okay. So depending on where you're at right now, you're going to choose the one that fits for you. Obviously, some of, not all, but some of those major features I talked about, those are in the elite membership, right? You can even see another list from coaches right here, top 10 reasons to get Charts by TRADEway. Obviously, we've gone over a lot of that today. And here is a more comprehensive view. If you just scroll down, it's going to show you, look, here's what I want you to get from this. You say, whoa, that list is kind of overwhelming. Well, what we really need to see here is, remember what I said at the beginning. It's not that we're going to use absolutely everything, or that we need to know how to use everything I've showed you today immediately. You don't. We're going to help you. All right. That's what we do. You're not going to have to do this on your own, but look at this. This is how much this can do. Okay. Now, talking about not having to do it on your own, if you're not in a membership, you can literally learn to trade, right? You think about the potential of what trading can do for you. These prices are low. This is a low risk way to get exposed to this skill set, because once you have that knowledge, you have it forever. And what we're doing here is just a monthly membership. So you can come in here as well, right? You can look at what is the right one for me. Am I looking for some support in stock trading, right? I post every day about what's happening in the market. No, Blair, I'm looking at, I need some options. I want to learn to trade the markets up and down. Things are looking crazy out there and I need more. Okay. Trader Max, that's where you're getting into options, which we talked a lot about today. And the majority of our program is fixated on options. And guess what? In this one, you get Charts by TRADEway Basic included. Once you move up to options, you get Elite included. Okay. So if you're not in a membership, you ought to get into a membership because it's going to get you the charts anyway. You say, Blair, I want up, down, and sideways, and I want the most coaching I can get, right? This is where you get personal access to coaches. This is where you get access to our live trading. We do live trading in the markets every day, Monday through Thursday, and a whole lot more because it includes everything in those ones in this, okay? And again, when you consider the fact that you get this information, it's a month-to-month membership. You can cancel it anytime you feel like you need to, and you get access to everything on here, plus that elite charts. $347 a month, man. Doesn't get better than that. Doesn't get better than that. I promise you that. So that's what we're looking at today. Get some help, get some tools. It's 2022, man. Trading in the stock market is I've been saying this for a year now. It's no longer this fringe thing that some people do, right? COVID has changed everything. And a lot of people who didn't give any attention to this. Now, I'm not speaking to everybody. Some of you guys were really keen on this already. If you were like me, though, this was something you thought, really, stock trading? But now it's become so popular, so normal. The difference, though, is that you can go and you can open a brokerage account, but that doesn't make us a trader. And that doesn't make us consistent, and that doesn't change our lives. What changes our lives is actually getting in here, getting our hands dirty, and learning from people who are already doing it, giving ourselves access to tools so that it actually fits our life. How many people we got out there who would love to make some money in the stock market, but you feel really busy, right? How many people do we have out there who say, you know what? I really need to change something. I really need to hit some of these financial goals. I'm not ready for retirement. I've got debt. You know what? I realize that life is too short, and I don't want to give my life away doing something that I wasn't really created to do, but I've got to do it because I've got to feed my family. I've got to survive. I've got to, whatever the case may be, right? We all have things that we want to change. Some of you guys, you're like, Blair, if I could pay my car payment, pay a phone bill with this, if that's the potential of this, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Well, this is a very practical way for you to do that. We're talking about an at-home stock trading business as far as starting a business for next to nothing, right? For next to nothing. So we encourage you, think about it. Of course, always pray about it. Maybe you already have. Now, when I came into my first event, I already prayed about it. And then take massive action. If nothing changes, nothing changes, of course. And some of you guys have been with us for a while and you just want to dive deeper into these charts, right? You just want to dive deeper into these charts. So we're here to help you do that. Karen says, can you place trades in charts if it's connected to your broker? The answer is yes, right? The answer is yes, like right here. Let's say we're on, let's just pick a stock here. I keep going to Gap today. All right. We wanted to come in. This thing's at resistance, right? It's hitting that line and it's starting to pull back a little bit. Let's say I wanted to do an option trade on that, right? I'm just using this as an example, right? I'm not making a recommendation at this moment. We wouldn't, oops, I didn't mean to do that. See how easy that is to do. We would need to look at a couple of things, but let's say I wanted to, right? I could come in here. I just clicked on these, right? I could do an options trade. Let's go in here, pick a put. Oops, let me go cancel that because I clicked on sell. I want to go to buy. Options, put option. I'd have to choose my put option and all that we teach you in the options training, but boom, right there, right there, I can trade from the chart and it's going to go right into the journal. And that's the cool thing about it, right? That's the cool thing about that. It's going to automatically do all of that for you. It's integrated and connected with your account, and then it's going to track your results from there. So yes, great question. Easy to do. Florence says, please show how to access tutorials. This is what Pete talked about here, right up into here. The help center. You can go into the tour, the video library, right? Or the quick guides. And it's going to remind you when their tutorial webinars are, because they do live ones every week, as well as the ones that are recorded. Okay. Some of our friends who developed this software with us are going to teach you how to use that. Okay. She also said, how do I get on the Market Monday sessions? Market Monday is live at 6 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook, TRADEway. Okay. It's for everybody who wants to come and join. So that's at 6 p.m. on Mondays. I do that every Monday. Okay. We've been doing that show for 2 years now. So there's a lot of information you can learn joining in with us on Market Monday as well. Okay. So there's that. Let's see. Yes. So Nelson, you can open up that link there that Pete's dropped a few times, and that will be where you'll see all those details. Like I said, right here. Okay. So you can see the pricing, and remember, you get into one of the memberships, you're getting the charts with it. Okay. Some of you are in Insider. You want to upgrade. Okay. You can upgrade. You can upgrade to the next level. You say I've started slower, right? To get used to it, but I know I need to learn to trade options now. So it's just as simple as jumping up to the next level. Okay. So that's easy to do. Yes. Market Monday, Central Time, 6 p.m. Central Time. Yeah. Good question. So for anybody who's looking for access to charts, again, I see other questions. Just to remind again, boom, right here. Okay. Let me just go over here and click the chat real quick. Access to charts. Yes, and you can have multiple accounts attached. So you open your brokerage account, and then you'll simply go in, and you can connect your broker to your trading, to your charting. Okay. So you don't have, obviously I'm showing the virtual trade here. If we had this is our coach's platform right here. If we had mine up, you'd see my TD Ameritrade account on there. And I have another account that I don't have connected to it that I use. If you are so David says, what if I'm a long-time insider subscriber? So if you've been around for a long time, right? Meaning you were actually in the insiders program before we had Insider Plus, you're going to get a ton more getting into the Insider Plus for just a tiny increase, right? That used to be $50 a month for the Insider, $77 for the Insider Plus. You're going to get a whole lot more. I actually showed you guys earlier. This is the Insider Plus community page that I'm posting on every day, right? I posted updates all day yesterday when it was tanking. I even posted some patterns on here. It's a way that you can direct message me, and you get that and so much more just by jumping up into here. We do that even more than that when you get into the Trader Max, and you get the options training over here in the Trader Pro. You're going to get the options training up, down, sideways, more coaching. You're going to be able to watch the coaches in the live trading hours. You're going to get all of our study groups, which means we go out on Monday night. Remember I said further, faster with what? Less work. You can come on the study groups on Monday night, and you can match your webinar to the strategy that you want to learn. I would like to learn how to trade sideways. We're going to go out and actually find trades with you live. And then we're going to trade through those Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and send you a video every day on what that stock we chose on Monday night is doing. Who thinks that would be useful to be able to at least watch, see the picks that we make on Monday night, which, by the way, you guys help us pick those, and at least come in here and virtual trade them? What if you did that? What if you got into the study group in a new strategy? You watched us. We're going to teach you on our Market Corner our Market Corner webinars every Tuesday night. We're going to help you learn the strategy. And then you can come in here and you can paper trade it. You can just paper trade just by doing the picks we give you for, let's say, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, right? That's a really safe, easy way to really start being aggressive with this skill set. And you don't have to do it on your own. You're saying, man, I got to do something to change my life. Well, what if you just had Charts by TRADEway and you could paper trade and you watch the webinar on Monday night for puts and calls, right? Makes money when it goes up, makes money when it goes down. And you paper traded those. And then you asked a coach, hey, how am I doing? That's 3 simple things I just gave you right there, right? It's not a huge time commitment. It's not a huge financial commitment, right? And it could make a tremendous difference in what you're doing. In fact, some of you that are in our program already, that's 3 things that I would say. If you're confused right now, that's a really simple way to start out navigating the program, is to do what I just said. Okay. So we're talking some moving the needle here, right? This stuff is not fluff. We're talking about moving the needle for you. This is about you. So that's what I would say on that. Okay. Let me just check the chat here, Pete. I know we're holding on to folks here. 12:20. I appreciate you guys being so patient here, sticking around. Lots of stuff we can help you do on here. I don't see anything else in the chat. You have anything here just in closing thoughts there, Pete? I said we're going to circle the airport. I think we're ready to land the plane.
Yeah, I believe so. Awesome session, Blair. Thanks so much for all your insights here. And we know that folks are still looking for access to charts. We apologize for the delays there. Folks are working as best they can behind the scenes. Feel free to send notes to support at TRADEway.com or call them 877-777-0703 and continue to ask for status there. And again, we sure appreciate we appreciate your patience and apologize for this transition. But again, it's software, and it's never ever easy with software, especially considering the massive changes that we have going on behind the scenes here. So thanks again.
All right. Excellent. Appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for being on here. There's going to be an email that comes out to you guys for the recording. We will continue to be connecting with you guys, and we'll let you know when that recording is so you can watch it over again. And don't forget, you can always just click on that link there. I'm going to pop it in one more time as we're saying goodbye so that you have it. You can quickly copy and paste it if you want, because obviously once we shut down the webinar, you're going to lose access to the chat box. So I know Pete just put it in there as well. And if you're in the programs, I just want to say, let us know. Let us know what we can do for you, how we can help you. That's why you guys are in it. We're going to help you get there further, faster, with less work. That's the whole idea. Some exciting stuff. And as the market changes, you know, those without a skill set are going to look at it and wonder in bewilderment to some degree, right? What is going on and how can I navigate this? And when we don't know, it tends to create anxiety, right? It tends to create anxiety. So let's equip you so that instead of seeing anxiety, you see opportunity. And that's the difference that the skill set gives us. I see a lot of thank yous in the chat. Got to say 10 times back to you guys. Thank you. Appreciate you. You are the reason we're here. It's absolutely true. We wouldn't be here without you, and we wouldn't want to be here without you. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for being on. Pete, I appreciate you as always, man, for helping. I know it was pretty busy in the back there, so thankful for that crucial role today. And we will see you guys next time. All right. Thanks so much, everybody, and have yourselves a good day.